Welcome. My name is Robin, and I'm glad you could join us. Michael Canfield, founder of Jitla and author of the book Jitla, the Promise Fulfilled, asked me to show you a brief visual introduction to the nuts and bolts of this revolutionary patent-pending program. Please keep in mind that we're still in the prototype stage. We'll give you a feel for this dynamic new internet advertising technology that provides a new way of thinking. It gives you exactly what you want, immediately and irresistibly, through a process called neutronic communications. And better yet, the surfer gets paid to use it. Let's get started. Most people are familiar with surfing the web. They poke around, put an entry into their favorite search engine, and get hundreds, maybe thousands of possible choices, some useful. They get bombarded with ads and marketing ploys like, click here, you're the 1 millionth visitor, you win. Just a lot of spam. Well, what's all this do? Usually it just wastes a lot of your time. We all know the feeling because we've all been there. However, let's assume a surfer knows exactly which product he's looking for. Let's say a Vizio 50-inch plasma TV. He enters it right into his favorite search engine to see offers from various vendors. Here's a vendor called Laptop Broker who has that model for $1055.99. Sales Stores advertises it for $1171.08 and Sam's Club for $1196.46. There are many different ways to search for the best price, and everyone wants a good deal. Are you a serious buyer? Well, that's where a Jitla membership puts you in control. Literally. Just download Jitla's Quest controller and enter as a surfer in the buying mode. Your Quest controller is now your guardian angel and will stay with you as long as you want and wherever you go. If you're a member merchant and there's a serious member buyer out there searching for your product or service, Jitla will marry the two of you together in real time. Now, who else does that? No one. Okay, let's go back to our favorite search engine. Remember that television? Well, let's enter it again with the Jitla Quest controller open. Sure enough, an ad came up from a Jitla merchant who carries that exact same TV. See that CSI rating of 7? That's Jitla's buying customers rating how well that merchant takes care of them. Not only that, but they want to pay a prospective buyer $14 just to look at their ad. If a buyer actually clicks through, the $14 is deposited right into the buyer's Jitla account immediately. No click fraud, no privacy intrusion, just a clean transaction from our merchants to a Jitla qualified buying customer. Now, who else does that? No one. We can tell you how that works when we meet. Oftentimes, a merchant will ask the shopper questions and offer to pay for their responses. Instead of paying survey takers or telemarketers, this allows the merchant to get direct feedback from their customers, and the customers get paid directly and immediately for their time and effort. This vendor wants to know if you prefer Sony or Panasonic. They want to pay you 12 cents just to tell them what you think. If you answer, the 12 cents will be automatically deposited right into your Jitla account. This is called an ad response. Another example of how Jitla values your time. Before leaving the site, the buyer will be asked to use Jitla's Grade and Go feature. This keeps the merchants in touch with what their customers think. Novel idea, huh? If they decide to accept the offer, they add the product to their cart and continue to check out. At any time while logged in, the buyer can review their Jitla customer account. On the left-hand side appears their current balance, and it shows their buyer quality rating. That lets the merchant know if they're a good risk or not based on past performance within Jitla. How does that work? Well, we'll go into more detail when we meet, but everything a buyer does within Jitla affects their buyer quality rating. Merchants are constantly inspecting this rating when deciding when or how much to pay a buyer to look at their ad. A shopper with a high buyer quality rating will most likely be offered bigger incentives than someone with a low rating. Merchants want to know if they're spending their advertising dollars wisely on a real buyer with a proven track record, and Jitla lets them know. Now, who else does that? No one. Imagine truly being paid to shop. Finally, a system that separates the people that mindlessly click through to look around, even though they have no intention of purchasing anything. Jitla merchants can strategically sort through all those individuals with low buyer integrity. This customer account page will also show the buyer a running total of all their transactions, ad looks and ad responses that they got paid for as a credit, and anything they purchased as a debit. By clicking on Settings, you will see personal information, such as location, birth date, and buying preferences. This allows Jitla merchants to know who they're dealing with. Don't worry, the buyer's personal information is stored in a strong box that only they have access to and control. We can tell you more about that when we meet too. Now let's exit Jitla's Quest Controller and assume the role of a small business merchant. Let's say we're a small toy store in Phoenix, and we have a great deal right now on those popular Nintendo Wii video game consoles. We enter Jitla's merchant realm, enter our product into the Jitla database, upload the photo, the price, the category, and save. Now assume we want to target market to a specific demographic group, the known buyers of our product. We don't want to waste thousands of dollars on newspaper ads that get distributed to everyone and many times just gets thrown out with a section. TV ads are cost prohibitive to the small business person. We want to specifically target customers going to the Toys R Us website to look at the Nintendo Wii bundles. That's what we want to sell, and Jitla gives us that opportunity. Now, who else does that? No one. I would create a new demographic group called Toys R Us Visitors, like I did here. Let's target boys and girls between the ages of, let's say 12 and 29. We choose the target location. We'll say Phoenix and Flagstaff, Arizona. And we'll target people with interests such as computers and online games. Then we toggle to the Toys R Us website. And search for that product page. We copy the link from the browser and paste it right into the product campaign list. Now, if a Jitla member in this selected demographic searches the Toys R Us website for Nintendo Wiis, our ad will come up. Now, who else does that? No one. Here's one more example. A small LA baby boutique owner is having a sale on Lullaby nurseries. They want to offer special deals and watch how the market responds to their ads. The merchant accesses their baby portfolio and selects one of their products and views the dashboard. The Information tab is a product description. The Settings tab is a great definer. It allows the merchant to set how much they want to pay for someone to look at their ad, how much they want to pay per survey response, what discount they want to offer, how much they want to spend per day on advertising, and even the list price. The merchant can change this information in real time based on what the competition is doing, or simply based on market demand. Now, who else does that? No one. The Filters tab allows the merchant to set buyer rating parameters and specify what demographic group they wish to target. If the merchant wants to see a detailed graph, the Statistics tab shows them what month, hour, or time of day their customers are looking and buying, as well as their rate of return on investment for that particular campaign. Do you think your advertising dollars are going to be well spent as a Jitla merchant? Absolutely. The merchant can also enter test data to see what other Jitla vendors are doing at any time. A responsible merchant needs to keep abreast of what's going on in the marketplace to maximize his profits, and Jitla allows him to do that. Now, who else does that? Again, no one. Finally, the email module, Jitla Safe Mail, is currently being developed as a revolutionary type of spam filter. It creates a true bid-ask relationship by actually reversing the merchant and shopper roles. A buyer can announce to the world what they're shopping for, and the merchants will come to them. If the buyer is a high-profile celebrity or just a popular person, they can tell senders how much their time is worth, and incoming emails will be sorted in order of the highest bidder. You also get paid for saying only the kinds of ads that you are interested in. No more getting bombarded by unwanted ads and junk mail. Control is finally back in the hands of the user. Why? Because Jitla knows that your time is way too precious to waste. Thanks for taking the time for this quick overview of Jitla. Want to learn more? Well, there are plenty of exciting features